2 months ago, as you know, we were facing serious problems. The country was dying by inches. It was dying because trade and commerce had declined to dangerously low levels. Prices for basic commodities were...
When I was a boy, my father said to me, always try to be a Carnegie. Save up every penny, boy, that you may earn, and you may in turn have money.
I remember my father taking me down. It was about 2 blocks away. There was a bank building, and there were crowds in front of it. And we were across the street, and he was pointing out to me that the people were gathered because the bank had closed. And of course, you know, there was panic, and people wanted their money and couldn't get it. A block in the other direction, there was an empty lot, and in the lot it was just packed with shacks that families were living in, and the shacks were built out of just anything that could provide protection against the weather. Cardboard, tin, or some kind of metal. My family, they never talked to us about problems, but it was clear that sometimes there wasn't enough to eat. It was very difficult. On Thanksgiving, kids would go around begging anything for Thanksgiving. And my sister came home with 10 cents.
Every little bit added to what you've got makes just a...
And she gave me a penny. And I was able to buy hard candy, just a thin stick about a foot long. And you had all these colors to choose from, the flavors. And I felt the wealth of having a penny to spend. And this was the greatest treat. It's true that 10 cents could buy a loaf of bread also. But this is the level on which we were working. It cost a nickel to go on the train or trolley car, and you had to calculate whether or not you could do something that would have been a free event, a free activity. Do you have the car fare? So this was an example of, you know, the kind of choices we had to make. Nothing unusual. Everyone was poor.
How did the Depression end?
With the war? With the war, there was a demand for munitions. My sister became a lathe operator. I was still in college at that time. My contribution was knitting scarves and baklavas, but a hood with eyes and mouth openings. So people got jobs.
Can you talk about the opportunities women had, like the different kinds of jobs they could get?
Women, you want to be a nurse or a teacher? Or you could be a secretary. And if you were a Jewish woman, you darn well better not apply for a job in this industry or that industry or that company, because they won't hire you. The boys, the copy boys, were all getting drafted or enlisting in the war, and they began hiring girls. I thought, oh well, here's my opportunity to get into the journalistic world, and I applied and I got the job. And the reporters would yell, "Boy!" and when the girls would go trot over and pick up the stuff in his out basket and carry it over to the in basket where it was supposed to go. There were, I think, 4 women who were reporters or writers at the New York Herald Tribune. All the rest were men. I came to Minnesota to go to graduate school, to study, to get a master's in English literature, of all things. I was 27. At 36, I wasn't thinking about life or its meaning or anything. I was just doing. I was busy having kids and getting supper on the table and changing diapers and doing laundry. And that was it, you know. I was in a Tai Chi class, and one day I said, "Oh, I did something wrong, my back's hurting," and the teacher said, "Is your back hurting?" And he squatted down in front of me and he put his fingers behind my knees, and class standing around in a circle, and he's squatting there looking up at me like this, and I'm looking down at him like this. And then suddenly I said, "It stopped hurting." And of course we all wanted to know everything he knew. I was 56 years old when I started studying acupuncture. I became fascinated. I was exposed to the ideas that I had never heard about it even, you know. It was like walking past the mouth of a vacuum cleaner and going When I started, there were about 5 books in English, and now there are hundreds. So I began practicing, and I began teaching, and then I started a school. The first graduating class was 4 students, and now they're turning out I think 15 or 20 a year. Acupuncture is a whole healthcare system to influence the flow of energy, and it leads you to a treatment. And this flow of energy has been described a couple of thousand years ago. I love the magic. No one knows exactly what happens. What's the connection between this and that is something that has yet to be discovered. And it doesn't interest me to find out why. I just love the magic that it happens.